Have you ever wondered what happens if you remove the SD card from a console while it's actually loading software with it? Ah! No, of course, there's no fire coming out of the console. But you might corrupt some saved data, who knows? Today we're gonna take all of Nintendo consoles that use SD cards, we're gonna download stuff with them, and we're gonna take the SD card out at the worst moment. What's gonna happen? Well, let's find out. So the first console we're gonna be doing the experiment with is the Nintendo DSi. And I didn't have a DSi when I was a kid, so I bought this one later down the line, meaning that I don't really have a lot of games on it. And with the Nintendo DSi shop being offline, I had to go to the settings and hope I could re-download past software. Luckily, I could download Flipnote Studio, but truth is, I couldn't choose where I wanted to download this, so the DSi was downloading it to the internal memory instead of the external SD card, which is a bummer. I tried looking for ways to download to the SD card directly, but I just couldn't. This console is dumb. Well, you know what? If you're gonna download, I'm just gonna turn off the console. Ha! How do you like them apples? So after rebooting the DSi, well, my Flipnote Studio app is nowhere to be found, and I can still go to the shop and download it. So yeah, nothing was corrupted. But here's the truth. What if we actually download it to the system memory and then we try to copy it to the SD card? Big brain. Alright, so let's check out the data management, and with the SD card inside, let's hit copy, and okay, it's copying. Time for me to take that SD card out of there. Okay, could not copy, please check SD card. Well, that's a pretty cool error message, it does the job well, but did I break anything? Let's put it back. No, it works. It is detected by the console and everything seems to be fine. Ah, bummer, nothing is corrupted. What a shame. Next up is the Nintendo 3DS, and although the 3DS eShop is also dead, it's still pretty easy to boot it up and go to your previously downloaded softwares to re-download a previous game. And for this test, let's go with Steel Divers. I didn't even know I owned this game, because I actually never played it. But hey, whatever, let's hit the download button, and it's going straight to my SD card. Alright, the download is starting, and let's just remove that little SD card out of there. Oh, error code 0072073 could not access the SD card. Well, it's in my hands, of course you cannot access it, duh! But what is interesting is what happens next. Even though I put the SD card back in the console, if I try to download Steel Divers again, it's gonna tell me that there's no SD card inserted into the console or that it is write protected. Looks like if you remove the SD card, it triggers some sort of protection system on the console. And well, did I break it? Let's just close the shop and boot it back and see if it fixes anything. Alright, let's go back in the menu, let's re-download Steel Divers, and oh, well, it detects the SD card again, and it works. Okay, well, you just had to power off the console and power it back on, and everything seems to be back to normal. So, yet again, no corruption, but it was still an interesting result this time around. Okay, it's time for the Wii, and the Wii Shop channel is such a nostalgia trip, man. I loved spending hours upon hours browsing the game selection, but now it is just a shell of itself. Anyways, we can also re-download past titles by going to the settings menu, and for that test, well, I guess we'll just download a WiiWare title, Final Fantasy: My Life as a King. The Wii is nice and lets us choose where we want to save the game, so obviously we're going with SD card. Okay, everything seems good, let's start the download, and okay, Mario is moving from left to right and jumping on blocks, meaning that everything is going according to plan. So let's just remove that SD card. Boom! Error code 209648, an SD card process failed. The SD card may have been removed and reinserted. well, joke's on you, I did remove it, but it hasn't been reinserted. If we hit try again, everything is gonna turn black and the Wii Shop channel is just gonna load again. Thankfully, if we just go back to titles you've downloaded, well, Final Fantasy is still here and available to download. Let's put it back on the SD card, and yep, it works, nothing is broken, and the game is downloading as expected. In fact, I ended up letting it download, and well, it's on my SD card now, and I can boot it and play it. So yeah, everything is good. Nothing is corrupted yet again. Good job, Nintendo Wii. Now for the Wii U. This one is special because it does feature SD card support, but it's not gonna be used to back up your games. No, if you want to do that, you have to use an external USB device. And I really didn't have a spare hard drive lying around, but I did have this wonderful Lego USB stick. So hopefully it's gonna be big enough to fit some games. The Wii U eShop is also dead like all of the previous ones, but we can re-download past titles once again. So let's go to my list, and there is this game called Tank. So thank you for being there, because you'll be the one I'll be downloading. Okay, so once we start the download, it's gonna appear on the main menu. And as you can see, if we go to download management, it is actually downloading. It's 2% done. So you know what we have to do now? We have to remove that USB stick. Holy crap. Okay, the Wii U really didn't like that. It completely turned off and gave me a big error message. The USB storage device has been removed. Please press and hold the power button for at least 4 seconds to turn the console off, and then reconnect the USB storage device. Dang, that's the console that suffered the most from today's experiment. The poor Wii U cannot catch a break. Not only is it one of the worst selling consoles of all time, it's also the only one that sucks at managing SD cards and USB devices. But the real question is, did I end up corrupting anything? Ooh, that's a big error sign I see there. Alright, let's read the details. The data is corrupted. Please delete it. Yes, we corrupted something. Finally! That's a big win in my book. It's also a bit sad because I have to go through the process of re-downloading the whole thing, but the truth is, if we delete it, then go back to the eShop and re-download it, everything is gonna be Gucci. So yeah, the data was corrupted and couldn't be saved, but we can just re-download the game and everything works fine. So it's no big deal. Last but not least is the Nintendo Switch, and I actually had to use my Nintendo Switch Lite for this experiment because removing the SD card while the Switch is docked is a bit challenging, considering the SD card slot is behind this little thing over there. Anyways, let's just download the game, and as per usual, let's open up this little trap, and oh, okay. The Nintendo Switch literally shut down when you remove the SD card. The micro SD card has been removed. The console will now turn off. Always turn off the power before installing or removing the SD card. Okay, my bad, Nintendo Switch, I didn't know. And the truth is, if we go back to the main menu, well, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Cheese is still downloading, and it just resumed where it left off. So yeah, nothing was corrupted. It's doing way better than the Wii U. So yeah, good job, Nintendo Switch. Well, as you can see, pretty much every single console handles the SD cards correctly, and the only console that we got to corrupt was the Wii U. And it doesn't use an SD card, it uses an external hard drive, so that might be it. Of course, I do not recommend doing that, but if you decide to try this for yourself, well, you might be safer than you think. Anyways, if you want to see more experiments like this one, tap the card on screen right now, and as for me, I'll go down in the comments section and read your comments to find out about more experiments I should do.